We're here for Leo and the Gospels. Leo and the Gospels. Let your friends know we're here. All right, I don't know if y'all were able to hear, but I'm back. I hope y'all are able to get the signal. Let me know. So we'll begin in just 1 second, all right, y'all? I'm sharing the video. I'm putting the link in Instagram, Twitter. So here we are. We're back. So the book that we are, hold on, y'all. What's going on? I don't know what's happening. Something's up with my camera. Give me 1 second. What happened here? Okay. All right. So we're back. So this again is coming out of The Gospel and the Zodiac, The Secret Truth About J.C. the Christ Figure by the Reverend Bill Darrell-El. We're on page number 115. Okay, so this is the chapter we're on. Leo, of course, Leo the lion, all right? So let's do it. Leo, the second fire sign, is the sign of sunshine. It is the only one of the 12 zodiac signs said to be ruled by the sun. Y'all take note of that. That's significant. And although Cancer marks the point of the sun's greatest northerly declination, go back and watch number 1 for what we discussed yesterday in the previous video about this topic. Leo marks its point of maximum power. Now see, this is problematic because when the sun becomes the Christ at the summer solstice, this is when JC is at his height of his ministry, his maximum power, right? So what they're saying is that the sun is now beginning to fall. JC is being humiliated, and in his humiliation, he achieves his maximum power. That's what this is saying. Well, the humiliation of JC is when he gets beaten by the Romans, disrespected, so on and so forth. The humiliation of the sun is when the number of nighttime hours begin to increase and daylight hours begin to decrease. Okay? All right. All the way until the Christ is killed. When the number of nighttime hours reaches its maximum, or their maximum, on December 21st, 22nd. That's what's happening with that. So that's what we need to look into. All right. So Leo marks his point of maximum power. Its metal is gold, okay? So the Leo is dominated by its sun, and the metal is gold. That makes sense, right? The sun is yellow, gold is yellow. The royal metal, man, they start with the cigarettes again. Let me see, I'm gonna have to move. Last time I stopped, I can't, I don't want to sit somewhere and have to breathe in cigarette smoke. People are so rude. I mean, I'm not going to complain. Let me just try to find another seat, y'all. I'm not going to come back to this coffee shop anymore. They just light up a cigarette. Who in the world doesn't know that cigarettes cause asthma, cancer, every other disease you can think of, but yet these people come, stand right next to you, sit right next to you, and fire up a cigarette and look at you like you crazy if you don't like it. Sorry about that, y'all. I have no choice because I have to be out and about, so y'all have to bear with me. until things change. And I can be in one place. But right now, I gotta go to the wake job. So I'm doing this before I go to wake. All right, so let's begin. All right, its metal is gold, the royal metal, and in the zodiacal man, it corresponds with the heart, the quote-unquote central fire. So the heart is the central fire of the body. This is where they get the concept of soul from, all right? So the Catholic Church, as I've mentioned before in the other videos, the Catholic Church took the word soul, S-O-L, Latin, which means sun, and they added a U in there, okay? So this whole concept of the central fire that causes the body to have warmth, energy, to be able to animate itself, that means move around, experience consciousness, awareness. They took that idea and remixed it into a soul, S-U-L, and then they told you that you're going to burn to death if you don't do everything they tell you to do. But if you do everything that they tell you to do, you get to go to heaven. Okay, that was remixed later on to you get to live on earth forever. Okay, now modern day and more modern times, the remix is that you get to live on earth in the kingdom. Okay, so all kind of doctrines about this, but its origin is purely astrological. The remix of the Latin soul, S-O-L, for the sun. The heart is the energy or the battery, the central fire, okay, that allows you to have heat, to animate, be conscious, etc., etc. I hope everybody understands that. That is such an important concept. Again, the Catholic Church took that concept of the sun. Every man, every woman has a sun inside of them, their heart, right? And they threw a U, they threw a vowel in there and called it a soul, and put a doctrine, attached a doctrine to it, and through that doctrine of the soul survives after death, they control you through fear and intimidation. All right, so it's all imaginary. The central fire of the body, upon which all the other organs depend. For the Jews, it represented the tribe of Judah. The lions wept, according to Jacob's blessing. This is Genesis chapter 49, verse 44. Indeed, the lion, whose mane is reflected in the glyph of Leo, has been associated with this constellation from earliest times and in various cultures. So Leo has always been associated, the lion has always been associated with Leo, the lion symbology, all right? Okay, so it's been there for a long time. Okay, from the earliest times and across cultures, in part, no doubt, because, quote, the sunny, S-U-N-N-E, the sunny being in that sign is most raging and hot like a lion, end quote. Now, why did I say sunny? Because usually you'll see the sun spelled S-U-N or even S-O-N. Here the author is spelling it S-U-N-N-E, which is very similar to the English name S-U-N-N-Y, Sunny. I had a next door neighbor. His name was Sunny, S-U-N-N-Y. But anyway, that's something to consider. Maybe it's something to that, maybe not. So this is a quote from Allen, page 253. But also because the dignity, pride, indolence, individualism, and sense of innate superiority, which in folklore at least, the lion displays, are often manifest in those people born at this time or in Leo. Okay. The Greek solar hero, Hercules. Did y'all know that Hercules is a solar hero? We usually see him not in that capacity at all, right? Usually just on Earth. But Hercules is a solar hero, okay, whose 12 labors reflect the 12 signs of the zodiac. Hercules wears a skin of a lion. Y'all can get this story in good detail, actually, in the Devil's Pulpit. The link is in the description area of the video here. And Hercules' most memorable labor is the slaying of Nemean lion, of the Nemean lion. Hercules' Hebrew counterpart, Samson, whose Hebrew name means sunny, S-U-N-N-Y, all right, kills a lion with his bare hands in the vineyards of Timnah and eats honey. Honey is liquid sunshine. So he kills a lion with his bare hands in the vineyards of Timnah, and he eats honey. He eats liquid honey. I'm sorry, he eats the liquid sun. He eats honey, which is liquid sun, from the lion's carcass, all right? So this is Judges chapter 14, verse 5 through 9. So he kills a lion, and then he eats honey, or he eats liquid sun from the lion. The lion is ruled by the sun. Honey is liquid sun, all right? The sons of the lions, writes Menelaus, are filled with the urge to adorn their proud portals with pelts and to swagger about in the heart of the capital rich droves of beasts, which, making concessions for cultural differences, agrees entirely with modern assessments which detect in the sons and daughters of Leo a fondness of self-display. Okay, self-display, vanity, and aristocratic individualism. Okay, so they like to be seen. All right, these are people who like to be seen, and they like to wear fancy fancy clothes, be in fancy clothes. All right, they want to be seen. Charles Carter says that in Leo there is the temptation to say, "For mine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory." All right, that's a Leo person. To which the bombastic Italian dictator Mussolini, whose birthday was July 29, 1883, so completely succumbed. But what sometimes manifests negatively at this level of human character is only a reflection of the essence of Leo. Okay, so this is a quote. "The sign of divine splendor," end quote, "whose ruler, the sun, has ever been the symbol of deity, not as a vain and self-seeking magnet, but as a source of tender affection and loving fatherhood." Now, I disagree with this loving fatherhood stuff. Do y'all know that the concept of the deity being the father, in other words, JC, the Christ figure, calling his deity the father, do y'all know that that does not have its origin in the Old Testament? We only find that, I think, once, or if I remember correctly, once or twice in Isaiah or Jeremiah. And then recently I saw where the concept of father, deity father, was maybe in Kings or Judges or somewhere around there. But that's the only place. Our ancestors never spoke of the Most High as being father. It was JC, the Christ figure, who popularized that. So, based upon Jeremiah 8, verse 8, to me it's very clear that the instance where the prophets refer to the Most High as a father is a Jeremiah 8:8 occurrence. It is an edit. Okay, also in whether it was Samuel or King or whichever one of those books, it's there maybe once, I think. It is an edit. It's edited in there. so that in the New Testament, the religious remix, nobody would question, why is JC calling the Most High Father? Okay, so this is why I'm disagreeing with this concept of the Son being fatherhood. All right, because this takes us squarely into religion. I hope everyone can see that. All right? It's taking us into religion. Let me get back to where we were. Where are we? Okay, so the divine splendor, we're talking about the essence of Leo. Divine splendor, right? You want to look magnificent all the time. Magnificent clothes, magnificent jewelry, bling, beautiful cars, everything, right? The sign of divine splendor, whose ruler is the sun, has ever been a symbol of deity, not as vain and self-seeking a magnet, but as a source of tender affection and loving fatherhood for all upon whom its rays might shine. This is a quotation from Carter, published in 1965, page 71. In essence, then, Leo concerns identity, not just awareness of the ego and in constant struggle to draw attention to itself, nor even of personality. The mask we wear in life's theater. Okay? So this concept of wearing a mask is seen in law. Okay? Let me rephrase that. The Romans, the Greeks and the Romans used the concept of plays. And people, the actors and actresses would wear a mask. Okay? This is where the idea of the straw man comes from. You're in a play, you're wearing a mask. So these statutes, the Roman law, the statutes, the codes, all of these things, they don't apply to the man or the woman. They apply to the mask. And as long as you're wearing that mask, you're under their jurisdiction. Okay, so that's where this whole thing comes from. All right, so plays and wearing a mask. So take off the mask, find out who you are, take off that mask, and then be who you are. Be who you are. Return to nature. All right, so let's continue. Take off the mask. This may sound simple, may even sound silly, but this is the basis of Roman law. You wear a mask. All right? You have to wear a mask, and their authority is connected to that mask that you're wearing. Okay, so take it off. In order to do that, you need to know who you are. All right. So let me go back. Okay, so it's not even the personality, and y'all know that the Negro is a engineered personality, right? Let me repeat that. The African American, the hip hop, all of these brands, these are engineered, these are the products of social engineering. Okay, so that personality, that culture, what you think is your own, no. You were engineered by people who what? Who are in the business. People who are in the business of controlling your mind to produce behavior and thoughts that they want. So for example, who's one of the biggest social engineers right now in North America? It's the record companies and those who own them, because most of y'all are listening to hip hop music and you all are treating it Like that's the way you should live your life. Like it's the Bible. Okay? Y'all treating street hip hop, etc. as the way you're supposed to be, do, and act. That's how y'all treat each other. The proof of it is in the way you treat each other. The way you speak, the way you dress, whether you like it or not. That's the fact. All right? Also, it's coming from TV, television, the programming of the mind, right? TV programs, okay? And then it's coming from the schools and the institutions that oppress you, all right? Every time you send your child to school, they indoctrinate your child. When you went to school, you were indoctrinated. When you have interactions with the hybrids, they indoctrinate you. Okay? So let's continue. Why? Because you're wearing a mask. What's your mask? Negro. Or black, African American. That's the mask you're wearing. That's not who you are. Okay? And that's why they apply the black codes to you. So when you take off the mask and you start to learn who you are and to be yourself, you start to follow the Most High's instructions, which are at their essence natural law. In religion, y'all call it keeping the commandments. Simple, right? All right. Okay, but the real identity of the human person as a child of God, and that's capital G-O-D, as a soul of infinite value. If y'all been following me for any time, if you agree with me, you probably disagree with what he just said here. Human, that would be Han Uman. Now I'm talking about the language, right? Han Uman, the hybrid, half monkey, half chimpanzee, half man. Child of God. No, we're not children of God, right? That's not how it goes. That's religion. As a time, Darrell-El writes, statute and statute are root related. Indeed. Yes, indeed. Okay, so let's continue. I lost my spot again. All right. As a soul, we don't have a soul of infinite value. We are stardust. We are golden, sang Johnny Mitchell at Woodstock, echoing the psalmist who tells us that we are, quote, a little lower than angels, end quote, Psalms chapter 8. This individuality is symbolized astrologically by the sun, the source of all life, which implants in the soul, that's the S-O-U-L, at length the mastery and direction of its actions, desire for substance, glory, and position, and a change from playful, ingenious error, E-R-R-O-R, to seriousness, to decorum, and ambition. This is quoted from Ptolemy, book 4, page 200 through 208. Its glyph is the circle with the dot in the center, the microcosm in the midst of the macrocosm, the tiny spark of divinity which awaits discovery in the depths of every human person. So we finished that subheading. All right, y'all? So the sun, according to this author, this is the symbol of the sun. Y'all take a look at that. All right. Astrologically, by the sun, the source of all life, which implants in the soul. So the sun in the sky implants in your body, implants in the soul, the mastery and direction of its actions, desires, substance, glory, and position, etc., etc., etc. All right, let me see what time it is. Time for me to get ready. All right, y'all. Darrell-El writes, "You are the sunshine of my life," Stevie Wonder. Stevie knew a lot of stuff, and he put a lot of stuff in his songs that we were not aware of. We were not aware of. All right, so I gotta go, y'all. Hold on, let me get this together. I have to teach a class. Darrell-El writes, making a person a deity. Yeah. I have to teach a class since Vietnam has changed the visa requirements. You can't just chill in Vietnam anymore like you used to. At least not yet. Oh, wait, I gotta pay. I'm sorry. I almost forgot to pay. Hello. I gotta run. It's okay, I gotta go. I'll come back. Hello. All right, y'all. So yeah, it used to be in Vietnam where you can get 6-month visa, 1-year visa, or even longer. But after COVID, they changed all of that. Now, in order to stay here long term, you have to basically you have to work, right? Good morning. So I'm teaching English, and trying to find something teaching in a university. Let's see, okay. Yeah, I would much rather prefer to teach in a university, either teach business or teach in the medical school. Things like that. I'm pretty diverse. I can teach in the business school, entrepreneurship. I can teach any of the basic sciences in a medical school. Or I can teach overseas, y'all. Business English is a big deal. IELTS is a big deal. So I can teach all of that. I'm fairly well educated across various disciplines, medicine and business. So I just have to figure out how to get myself set up. So I'm about to enter into this school. Teaching in a university setting is much easier, because when you're teaching, like right now, I was changed from the high school. Now I'm teaching in the secondary school, grade 6, 7, 8, and 9. And man, it's fun though, but it just requires a lot of energy. You know, but it's worth it. I enjoy it. It's a good experience for me. But anyway, let me end the video, because I'm sure y'all don't want to hear me rambling on about this. And anyway, hopefully I can find a comfortable place to do the live streams, but my days are so full that I have to do these videos whenever I get the chance, because I'm always teaching, like every day, 7 days a week, even in the evenings. All right, so Shalom and Islam to all the Moors. I'll be back. Uh, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, teacher.
Good morning. Yeah, so I'll be back in about 11, no, 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I will be back live, all right, to do more on Leo. Shalom and Islam to all the Moors. Hello, students. Good morning.